On the morning of May 9th, 1968, the Kray twins and other members of the firm were arrested by Nipper Reed and his team and charged with the murders of George Cornell, Frank Mitchell and Jack the Hat McVitie. The trial of the Old Bailey was presided over by Justice Melford Stevenson and became one of the longest and most expensive criminal trials in English legal history.
When I started the investigation, I'd become a superintendent and posted to the murder squad. I'd made it. And then I went in to see the assistant commissioner, and he said to me, congratulations. Now, Mr. Reed, he said, I want you to do the Krays.
I do know that I'm told anyway, and I'm pretty sure it's correct, that there's orders from the very top people to lock us away and make sure we were locked away.
I think we thought the best evidence probably was Cornell. If we won that and then went on to McVitie, the publicity that was associated with the first trial was such that it could be said we couldn't get a fair trial on the second one. And that was the arrangement that we said, well, we'll join the two murders and we'll leave Mitchell out, and then we'll have a separate trial for Mitchell. And that's what we did.
It was quite obvious they should have been tried separately. And not only did I move the court, move Milford, he should try them separately, but I got him to stop the trial so that I could take the case to the Court of Appeal. They likewise refused.
Really, it was the fact that these two murders were alike in so many ways, because they'd been committed by criminals who were conjoined, not only because they were brothers and twins, but because they were leading the same gang, and that there was the same motive, or there was the lack of motive that impelled us to say, well, there is a relationship between the two that can be established, and it was accepted.
I think they had a good chance of getting off if they'd been tried separately, and I don't mean the two twins separately, but two murders separately.
There were 10 men in the dock. Only 2, Ronnie Kray and Ian Barry, were on trial for the murder of George Cornell. The remaining 8 men sat in front of the jury, awaiting their trial for the murder of Jack McVitie.
Ian Barry had to sit through the whole trial of the evidence against the gruesome evidence in the case of McVitie. It was nothing to do with him, and similarly, the other defendants like Bender, Whitehead, the Lambrianos had to sit through something that didn't concern them at all. And of course, in my view, it was tainted and prejudicial. I don't think it's happened since or would ever happen again.
Well, it's one of the great trials of the 20th century. One of the great criminal trials. It's a great show trial. It was a mafia trial, and they conducted like a mafia trial right from the very beginning, when the police convoy brought them into the Old Bailey. Each of the jurors had a policeman to be responsible for him. The convoy coming up from, I think it was Brixton Prison every day, was enormous. Sirens every day. It had been announced before the trial that it would take a different route each day for security.
It was really the police, or the Home Office through the police, trying to pretend to the jury that they were likely to be mobbed at any moment by someone representative of this gang. And the mere fact that the leaders were all in jail and all on trial didn't mean there wasn't a big gang threatening them all the time.
Oh, it's incredible. Sirens and motorbikes I mean, they used to start, we used to get to the Old Bailey in record time, 16 minutes, I think, from Brixton Prison to the Old Bailey. These screaming sirens and motorbike outriders, the Krays are coming, there to be crowds everywhere.
And holding back 30 or 40 people at the end of the road, don't go down there, it's too dangerous, we're all in a van for back there.
I'm sure that the jury and everybody around it was affected by the heavy security.
Of course it tainted the jury. I mean, all the whole circus must have tainted them.
Every single night, the television had come on, the news, we'd be on the news. Every single night. Now, I mean, it was a trial by publicity.
Today, many judges would have reported newspapers and television for contempt. The Krays, in my view, were killed by publicity.
You're convicted before you even kick a ball. Game, set and match.
I think, really and truly, there was so much evidence against them. The twins should have put their hands up and said, look, we'll take it, because they was apparently offered the deal that you take it, like you put your hands up to it, and all the rest can walk.
They expected them to go down with them. That was their sort of like a death wish they had, you know. We're going down, you've got to come down with us, you know, we'll go together. That's not right. They wasn't responsible for what the twins did.
When each of them was arrested, I interviewed them and said, look, this is your one opportunity. You will never get another. I'm telling you now that I'm going to charge the Krays with murder, and there may be other cases as well. You've now got the opportunity, if you choose, to come on the side of law and order, to make a statement to me and tell me all you know about the Krays, and this is the only opportunity you'll get.
All of a sudden, you've got their own cousin, Ronnie Hart, done the right grassing anyway. He's told them exactly what's happened, and about half a dozen more of the so-called heavyweights on the firm have all grasped one another and grasped the twins.
Well, this was a disgusting trial in that sense, that the number of people who were singing, betraying, I mean, it was really grotesque. And people who I'd met 6 months before as staunch friends, buddies, allies, whatever they were, of the Krays, members of the firm. But all these guys, and suddenly there they were, you know, large as life, saying how dreadful the Krays had been.
And Ronnie said, we got Scotch Jack is going to take Cornell's murder. Ronnie Hart is going to take Jack the Hat, and we want you to take Frank Mitchell. So I thought about it just for a few seconds, and I said, no, I ain't having that.
Of course, you can't ask a man to do that. What sane man's got to say, yeah, I'll put my hands up to a murder and get a life sentence for something I've not committed? I mean, it's ridiculous to even think it, you know. Of course, he had to roll over.
I put them before my own family. You know, Chris just had to go along with it, whether he liked it or not. That was chosen, but I went down that road, and there was no going back.